Am I the a-hole for sending my parents and their spouses a FU message before going no contact? I don't know if FU message is the right word, but that's what my boyfriend's brother and sister jokingly called it, so I'll use it here. I'm a 20-year-old guy, and for the last 2 years, I've been low contact with both of my parents. Their spouses never wanted me around, and as soon as their legal responsibility for me ended, I was essentially kicked out. I ended up homeless for a short while until my boyfriend and his family stepped in and gave me a place to live. Honestly, if it weren't for them, I don't know where I would be right now. They probably saved my life. It was actually my boyfriend's parents who encouraged me to write that final message. They could see how much I was still hurting from my past, even though I tried to downplay it. His mom especially sat me down one night and said, "You deserve closure. You deserve to let it out. They need to hear it, even if they don't care." She even helped me go over my words because I had so much bottled up anger and sadness that I couldn't even figure out where to start. Now, to explain why things got this bad, I have to go back. People always ask why my parents and their spouses hated me so much. The truth is, I was never supposed to exist. I was an affair baby. Actually, a double affair baby. Both of my parents were married to other people when they started sneaking around. My mom got pregnant with me, and that's how their secret affair blew up. From day one, my existence was nothing but proof of their betrayal. Neither of their spouses ever accepted me. In fact, they despised me. I wasn't allowed to call them stepmom or stepdad. I wasn't even allowed to call them by their first names. I had to use sir, ma'am, Mr. last name, or Mrs. last name, like I was some random outsider in their house. I never carried either of my parents' last names because their spouses didn't want me tied to their family. Instead, I got stuck with my maternal grandmother's maiden name. Even that decision was like a permanent reminder that I wasn't truly part of either family. Calling my half-siblings siblings was forbidden too. If I dared to say it, I got screamed at. My cousins were told not to play with me. On my dad's side, I was mocked and called the mistake. On my mom's side, I was invisible, never invited, never included. At family gatherings, I wasn't in group photos. I was the shadow nobody acknowledged. Imagine being a little kid and watching your brothers and sisters laugh with your parents while you sit alone, knowing everyone would rather you didn't exist. That was my childhood. Life at home was a nightmare. I was passed back and forth like unwanted luggage. My parents argued constantly about who had to keep me longer. Sometimes I'd fall asleep in one house and wake up in the other because someone decided they were done with me for the week. My education didn't matter. If I needed school supplies, I got the cheapest. If I needed glasses, they bought the lowest quality pair. If I struggled in school, I was told to suck it up. No one cared enough to guide me, encourage me, or even notice. When I turned 17, things got even uglier. The four adults, my mom, dad, and their spouses, were literally fighting over who wouldn't take me. Nobody wanted to house me, nobody wanted to spend money on me, and nobody wanted to help me prepare for adulthood. They didn't want to pay for college, trade school, or even a deposit for a crappy apartment. They just wanted me gone. Finally, they decided I wasn't welcome in either household. Since everything I owned technically belonged to them, I left with just the clothes I was wearing. No money, no plan, nowhere to go. That's how I ended up homeless until my boyfriend and his amazing family took me in. For years, I kept all of this hidden. I was ashamed. I didn't want to admit that my own parents treated me like garbage. My boyfriend knew I was an affair baby, but he didn't know how deep the neglect and abuse really went until he saw me with nowhere to live. I was terrified he'd pity me, or worse, see me the way my family did. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend's mom gave me advice that stuck with me. She said, "You don't owe them silence. You don't owe them respect. They failed you. Say what you need to say, then walk away." And for the first time in my life, I felt like maybe I had the right to speak up. So I wrote my FU message. It ended up being so long that I had to send it in 2 separate texts in the group chat with my mom, dad, and their spouses. I poured everything into it. I told them they were monsters, that they had abused me, that I was punished for existing, even though I had done nothing wrong. It wasn't me who cheated, it was them. I told them I hated them for making me feel like garbage for 20 years, and that my life was already better now because I finally had a real family, my boyfriend and his parents, who actually loved me for who I am. For a few hours, I left them unblocked to see if they'd respond. And wow. Their responses were worse than anything I could have imagined. Both spouses unleashed pure venom. They said I was selfish for expecting to ever be treated like family. They called me the product of their spouse's affair. One of them even said I was what abortion was invented for, and that they wished I had never been born. They admitted they wished every single day that I was dead. And my bio parents? They weren't much better. They accused me of being ungrateful and disrespectful. They said I should be thankful they gave me food and a roof until I turned 18, as if basic survival was some huge gift. They called me entitled for wanting more than the bare minimum. My boyfriend read the responses with me. He told me immediately to block them again. I did, and I haven't looked back. But now I keep asking myself, was it worth it? Would it have been smarter to just disappear quietly, block them without a word, and move on? Or was I right to finally let it all out, even if it ended with them spitting more poison at me? So, am I the a-hole for sending my parents and their spouses a FU message before going no contact?